Said there was two terms we were talking about. Phasing and calibration, correct? Okay, so if we go over here to this calibrate or phasing ring, and this is again the unscientific way of checking it, but when I turn this, I can feel right there where one of these plungers just port closed and trapped the fuel, so it now became a little bit stiff, right, because I've trapped fuel. So what I want to do at that point is I'm going to set my zero at 240 degrees here. It's at the 240 degree mark. This is 360, right? So where should I see what would be the next number from 240 if I have a 6-cylinder? How many degrees should the next injection?
300.
You should be back to we should be 300 next, because 360 degrees creates 6 injections. So 60 degrees more would be the next one. So let's just check. And again, it's a very unscientific way, but for our purposes, it's pretty close. And that one's right on. It's at 300. So let's check the next one. It should be back to basically 360 or 0. That one's okay. Let's go again. Next one should be at 60, and we are a few degrees before 60. So if we're a few degrees before 60, we're going to start injecting fuel early, right? So if I'm 4 degrees too soon on my pump, how many degrees too soon am I in the cylinder? 8. And that now is going to do what to our ignition delay period possibly? It's going to increase the ignition delay period because we start injecting fuel a little too soon. So the guy at the pump shop would take, in this case, this pump, take shims like this. And he would adjust those shims until every one of these was starting exactly 60 degrees apart. So when I install this pump at, say, 20 degrees before top dead center, every one of these pumping elements or plungers would begin injection at 20 degrees before top dead center for its cylinder. Has everybody got that? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to tighten up the clutch here again. We got fuel leaking out, so we'll hope we got another run in this thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fire this up, and I'm going to speed it up to about 900 RPM. Why am I only going to speed it up to 900 RPM? Because it's half crankshaft speed, so that would mean our engine would be running at 1800, okay? So I'm going to fire it up, and I'll show you a couple things. First, see, we're getting a little air here. You can hear it clattering away, right? Oh, how come it's quiet now? What did I just do with the lever here? What did I do with my plungers? I rotated them to the fuel shutoff or vertical groove position, so I'm not building any pressure. I still have fuel flowing. And now I've left them now into a idle position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this to full fuel. I'm going to rev this up to 900. Put in 300 strokes. Because we're aerating our fuel a little bit, we're getting near the end here. We've got, obviously, would this engine run good? No, we'd have very poor cylinder balance. Just at 300 strokes, we already have wild variances in the amount of cc's of fuel per cylinder. And we said that over 1,000 strokes, we were allowed plus or minus 1 cc
variation
per cylinder, yes, over the entire amount. So, yeah, this is going to be a huge problem. So what I'm going to do is, who wants to make an adjustment?
Is that the combined amount over?
No, that's per pumping element. So over all 6 of them, I can only have a variance of plus or minus 1 cc. Well, we're way out of that ballpark, if you look at this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so who wants, and this is cylinder number 5 right here, who wants to make an adjustment? Anyone? Jordan. Okay, you grab that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this into the no fuel position, just loosen that collar. Shouldn't be too tight. About a half a turn or so will do. There you go. And grab this screwdriver in my hand here. And those little holes there, make an adjustment. Bring them towards me a little bit.
Like that?
Yeah. Okay. We didn't make a very big adjustment there, did we? Okay, so let's tighten that back up. You might be on TV all over the world, so, you know,
How's my hair?
it's pretty good. I like it. Okay, so let's see how we did. Maybe we can get it back in the ballpark a little bit. I don't want to go the other way because this machine will overflow if we did it wrong. Uh-oh. Hope I'm right. So, I'll fire it up again. Full fuel, 900 RPM. 300 stokes. Okay, so what we saw is a very small adjustment. Jordan made an adjustment of maybe about a 1/16 of an inch on that control sleeve to gear adjustment. And what we got was a reduction of about 19 cc's. That tells you right there that there's no way you could accurately make this adjustment in the field. You couldn't. As soon as you start playing with things like that, you are just doing nothing but screwing up the fuel system. This one, luckily for us, is already screwed up for observation purposes. If this was your pump on here, you might be mad now. But it's better than it was the first time, right? So we went the right way. So it's a good idea to know what's happening and how this is turning. Again, we're not necessarily going to do this type of thing in the field, but we need to know how that is affected so we can diagnose this when there's a problem. And we could probably tell here that one of our cylinders would be running much hotter than the rest because we're putting in so much more fuel. Definitely before we would be literally overfueling a cylinder and creating heat in that cylinder. Okay? Any questions? No? All right. We'll discuss this back in the class. So thank you very much, Rod.